Roblox is home to many clones of popular video games that are played by users all over the world. And today, I will be telling you the full story behind one of those clones. This is the rise and fall of Ragdoll Royale. First of all, in case you don't already know, let me quickly explain what Ragdoll Royale is. In the simplest terms, Ragdoll Royale is a Roblox game where players are racing against each other across a randomly selected map filled with obstacles and challenges. The player's goal is to reach the finish line on the other side of the map in a certain time frame and before their opponents. If they manage to do so, then they will move on. Otherwise, they will be eliminated. The last person standing will win the game. Now, you may be asking yourself, isn't that just Fall Guys? And the answer is yes. Ragdoll Royale is heavily inspired by Fall Guys, which is not that surprising as Fall Guys was an extremely popular game at the time of Ragdoll Royale's release. The Fall Guys creators knew that with everyone stuck inside due to the coronavirus, it would be the perfect time to launch their project. And they were right. Within the first 24 hours of Fall Guys' release, the game already had 1.5 million players actively playing, which led to server crashes that the company never expected. If we go 6 days after that, 2 million copies of Fall Guys have already been purchased on Steam. At this point, it was clear that Fall Guys was an instant hit. So if the original game was already this good, why would anyone want to play the knockoff version? Well, there was just one factor that the creators forgot to include. It was that other game developers and companies would have the same idea in mind. Releasing their games while everyone was still in quarantine means that more people are likely to play it. For the developers, more players mean more revenue and a bigger fan base. So obviously, all of them took that route. But no one was expecting this game to start topping everybody, and that game was none other than Among Us. Although it was originally released in 2018, it skyrocketed in popularity in 2020 after famous streamers and YouTubers started playing it. The rules of the game were simple and perfectly matched what people desired since the start of quarantine in March, which was to interact and engage with friends in a way that is fun without leaving their homes. But this isn't even all Among Us had to offer that would blow up their fan base. Among Us was available on both iOS and Android devices, while Fall Guys was only on PS4 and PC. And because everyone had phones around them, that means people can play Among Us whenever they like, unlike Fall Guys, which was very limited to devices that were not meant to be moved around. 1 month after the release of Fall Guys, they lost 46.26% of their player base, and lots of ex-Fall Guys players are now playing Among Us instead. But still, how does Among Us getting more popular than Fall Guys relate to Ragdoll Royale's rise and fall? Well, when Ragdoll Royale's developer Synaptics released this game on Roblox on August 6, 2020, 2 days after Fall Guys' release, it didn't receive much attention. But after a month, popular gaming YouTubers like Flamingo and Sketch were all making videos about the game. This gave the game more recognition, and the game surpassed 25 million plus visits within a little over a month of its release. The game continued to thrive in the following months until December, which was when it started to decline. Soon, it started to lose its popularity like Fall Guys as streamers and YouTubers started to play other games like Among Us. People were no longer interested in the once popular game and definitely not the clones of it. On top of that, there were large gaps between each updates in the game, causing more people to quit the game completely due to it being repetitive and boring. Over the course of 2 years, the game slowly died out. Before the video ends, there's one more thing we still need to answer, and that is, what happened to the creator of Ragdoll Royale after the game died? Well, the first step was to go to the most active place Synaptics was on before he disappeared, Twitter. Right away in his Twitter bio, it says, currently working on Little Lands and Ragdoll Royale. However, everyone knows that this is outdated as both games haven't been updated in well over a year. After further digging on Twitter, I came across this reply from Synaptics on September 14, 2020. It was a Discord server link. I proceeded to click on it, and it turned out to be Synaptics' Discord server. This was a clutch find because it would turn out to contain lots of valuable evidence that can help us solve this mystery. From this chat message, you can see this user asking what happened to ISO. For people that didn't know, Ragdoll Royale is not just worked on by one person. It is co-founded by two brothers, Synaptics and ISO Cortex. Another thing that we can find is that Synaptics' brother is busy with college and Synaptics is working on the game only because he has time off work. This could help us find out what happened to them. As I continued to scroll, I found that the Synaptics would post one last time and then disappear on the Discord server. But using the information here, it could be predicted that the creators stopped due to an overload of work and school. They also, as said here by Synaptics, that he had to update not one, but two of his games. Today, both of those games are completely dead, and it is believed by many users that Synaptics stopped making games to focus on his life. So, at this point, I think it's safe to say that Ragdoll Royale is a discontinued game, and the only thing we could do is hope that one day the developers come back and restore the game to what it once was.